This video will demonstrate using the Xtranormal State software to create a scene where a character will walk into a room and sit at a chair. I will demonstrate the techniques for doing that. For the scene, I've selected the scene of the Dean's office and two characters. Mr. Douglas I have positioned at his desk with the initial posture of sit. He's sitting in his chair. And Margarita I've positioned at the door with the initial posture of stand. Knowing that this scene will involve walking of a character from one position to a marker, the placement of the characters and the markers are important. To help me with that, I will create a custom camera angle. I'll take a current camera 4 and copy it, and then I'm going to rotate that such that I have a direct top-down view of this scene. And I'm going to save that camera angle. I will probably not use this camera angle itself in my video, but I will use it in the making of the video for the placement of characters and markers. To place a marker, I'm going to right mouse click and select Create Marker. And then I'm going to move this marker and put it in front of the chair. At this point I'm going to zoom in some so I can see more precisely what I'm doing with this marker. I want this marker to be positioned at the location where the character needs to stand just before sitting down. Now part of this is that there's an arrow atop this marker that indicates the direction the character will be facing when they arrive at that marker. I need to rotate that. I'm going to use the rotate tool, click and hold on this marker, slide my mouse to the left, which will rotate this marker clockwise such that she will have her back to the chair. She'll be facing away from the chair when she arrives at that marker, ready to sit down. Returning back to the camera angle. Another important thing here is the position not only of the marker but the character, such that a straight line between those two, there are no obstacles. When she's walking, I do not want her to try to walk through a solid object like a chair. I also want to create other custom camera angles for this scene. I always like to have close-ups of my character, so I'm going to copy that camera angle and use this to zoom in on Mr. Douglas. I'm going to tilt my perspective a little bit and save that camera angle as my custom close-up on Mr. Douglas. Likewise, I want to create a custom close-up camera angle on Margarita sitting in the chair, but right now she's not in the chair, so I have to work with just the chair itself. So I'll copy that camera angle, move it a little bit, zoom in a little bit, and we'll rotate this around such that it becomes a close-up zoom in on Margarita sitting in that chair. I'll save that. Now I'm ready to start building my dialogue for my scene. I'll start with Mr. Douglas speaking. I'm going to add some more dialogue here. This time I'm going to select it for Margarita. At this point I can just hit the Enter key to create a new line of dialogue, and it will automatically alternate the two characters. So it's automatically switched to Mr. Douglas. question mark, question mark, and one more line of dialogue. What else do college students talk to the dean about? Grade point average. Now we're ready to add some camera angles to this video. I believe I'll start with the overhead view of the scene, which gives me the perspective of the room and the characters in the room. Pretty quickly, I want to switch to a close-up of Mr. Douglas. And then I'm going to add in for him a gesture of doing the come here gesture. And then I'm going to switch back to a camera angle which shows us Margarita walking into the room. I'm going to continue with that camera angle down through the point that we're going to switch back to Mr. Douglas speaking directly to Margarita. Correct my typo. And then we're going to switch to the close-up of Margarita speaking back to Mr. Douglas. Now we need to add the motion, the activity of Margarita walking. Just show that. Start here and add the walk action. And it'll be walking Margarita to marker A, and underneath the advanced, I'm going to have her do a walk, which is a little bit faster than the amble. And then down here, hopefully she's in position, and we're going to have her sit down, which is a change of posture. The posture is going to be sit. Now, some of these postures are sitting, some of these others, like relaxed or wide, legs wide, are standing posture. So if you select one of these for a character that's currently sitting down, they will stand up. If they're standing, you can have them sit down using the sit one. I'm also going to add a gesture here for her to wave bye or wave hello and Mr. Douglas. Now let's play that and see what that looks like.
Welcome, Margarita. Please come in and sit down.
Thank you, Mr. Douglas, for seeing me today.
Margarita, how may I help you today?
Mr. Douglas, I need to talk with you about my grade point average.